struggles keep me near the cross, and let my troubles show that I need God. Let my battles in the way they should, and let my bad days prove that God is good. Let my whole life prove that God is good. Hi friends, welcome to episode 71 of the Quirky Monday Craftcast. My name is Kalisha and you can find me anywhere online as Toni. I am coming to you today from my home in Central Florida, and today is Tuesday, January something. I'll put it on the screen because I don't feel like getting my phone. I'm kind of low energy today. I really thought about whether I wanted to record today or not, and it was either record today or there'll be no podcast. So there's that. I'm feeling low energy, and I guess it's not really true to say low energy. I'm feeling like I've pulled all of my energy in and I'm holding myself right here, and it's, you know, behind all of the race stuff that's online. And as a person of color, this is like, these are things like you know that there are people out in the world who don't see someone like me as like the same as them, or don't see me as much of a person as them, or as with valid inputs and things like that. Like, I know conceptually that there are people that are like that, because you can look back on history and you see what people like that did, you know, and how long it took for those practices to be outlawed. And then you look at present day and you see people who still like look back fondly on times gone past. And so it's one thing to know conceptually that people like that exist, but it's a whole nother thing when it shows up right in your face. And if you're on Instagram, you probably have already heard about the video that a certain yarn dyer did. And it was something else. All of the commentary that I'd seen about the video were basically saying, if you're a person of color, don't watch it because it is triggering and harmful, to say the least. And I'm the kind of person that I don't want to take at face value what somebody said that someone else said, you know what I mean? So I decided that I was going to watch the video, and I only got like a couple minutes in before I had to turn it off, because just my hands were shaking. And that was all this morning that I did that. And it's tiring, y'all. It is tiring to spend so much energy basically justifying your existence in a place of saying, I am worth the same space and the same time and the same consideration as the next person. It's tiring. So what I decided to do was take this morning, and I had a to-do list that was like this long. I decided to take this morning and just sit quietly and knit on a project and listen to music. And I shared a little video on Instagram of a song that I feel is almost like a blessing and a prayer when I sing it to myself. And yeah, just pulling myself in. You know, sometimes it's good to push your energy out and take up as much space as you can, but sometimes you need to pull yourself in and protect yourself. And these are experiences that we navigate all the time. And these are experiences that we sometimes unconsciously navigate in just day to day. But I am determined to continue to be a hopeful person. The thought that, you know, race relations will change, it's like one of those things like, will that happen in my lifetime? Well, when you look at how long it took for us to get here, probably not. But I can still make sure that my interactions and my actions and the energies that I put out into the world are as honorable as I can make them. That is my duty as a human. So yeah, that's why I am lower energy today. That's why you guys got, like, all you new people, you got your first taste of Teary Kalisha. She shows up a bit. Spoiler alert. But yeah. One thing that kept crossing my mind today was it only takes a little bit of light to break the darkness. And when you look at the world and you look at the governments and people in power and the things that they do, there's a lot of darkness. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of ugliness out in the world. And it only takes a little bit of light to break that darkness. It does not matter how dark that darkness is. One little match light. So, if you are feeling all of these things like I am, and I know I feel a lot. I am extraordinarily empathetic. I know this about myself. But if you are feeling things deeply, if you are feeling drained and weary and and like you don't belong in the space that you're in, I encourage you to keep putting one foot in front of the other. Keep showing up. Because your presence in whatever the space is that you're in is valuable, it's needed, and the fact that you are in that space is testament that you need to stay, that you need to shine your light, however big or small your light is. A while ago, I mentioned, I don't remember what it was, but I was saying how all of us are like stars in the sky, right? When you go out at nighttime, you look up, and there are so many stars. But what you will notice about the stars is that they all kind of have their different luminosities. They all have their different brightnesses. And it doesn't matter how dim that star is, you can still see it. That star still shines over light years and light years of space, and it doesn't matter how far or how small or what kind of star it is, that star's light still shines. So keep shining. Okay, let's talk about some crafty bits. And as you can see, I do have a finished pair of socks. These are my birthday socks. I kind of feel like I need a bigger pair of sock blockers. We're not sure. But anywho, these are, you can see my little faux pas. We'll get to that in a minute. These are my birthday socks. They are made from Knit Picks Felici in the Duchess colorway. And then the heels, toes, and cuffs are Lion Brand Sockies in the Grape Soda colorway. These are the ones that I knit toe to toe. And then I did Afterthought heels and Afterthought cuffs. Now, as you guys can see, my little faux pas right here, I managed to knit this sock like half a row taller than this one. Or no, I didn't knit it half a row taller. I split it. I split the tube in the wrong spot. But I was so sure that I counted it right. But whatever. You know what I think, happened? I counted to the middle, and then I decided that I didn't want to split the stripe, and I moved to the beginning of the stripe. That's probably what happened. But I showed them to my husband, and he was like, "What are you gonna do? Are you gonna like rip it out?" No, just gonna have socks that are like a centimeter difference in height. I don't care. As long as they're not a centimeter short in the foot, it's all gravy. But one thing that I thought was really cool about these socks, like when you put them heel to heel, the light purple or like the medium purple stripes line up. And I thought that was really fun. So they are done. I did, what did I do? 64 stitches on a 2.25 millimeter needle, which is a US 1. That's my normal sock setup. This is the rounded toe, like my preferred rounded toe. It's one that I've tweaked myself. This Afterthought heel was using the Curvy Wurvy method, and this is a 2x2 rib with a stretchy bind off. They are done. The only thing I really don't like is how this Afterthought heel looks on this blocker. And I know that it's like hanging out this far because before I started doing the decreases, I knit 5 rows even around the heel hole. And then I started the decreases because I tend to get a lot of pulling through this part. And if you knit flat in here before you start the decreases for an afterthought heel, it gives you a little bit more space for your instep. So yeah, those are done. Yay! Oh, I need to take a picture of those because I will be entering those into Hannah of the Cozy Cottage Crochet, into her stash, Love Your Stash Cal, and I'm thinking about entering them into Claudia's sock theme cal, Claudia of Crochet Luna. And I was thinking the January theme is new beginnings, and I did a lot of new stuff in that pair of socks. I did that was my first Felici and my first time doing Afterthought Everything. So I think I might enter them over there. And someone else is having a stripe, like a stripy cal. I want to say it's Andy of 10,000 Stitches. I'll correct myself if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Andy from 10,000 Stitches. And if that is her, I'm going to enter them over there too. Triple dip, y'all. Pew, pew, pew. Alright, so that's my only finished object. Next we have the works in progress. Who wants to go first? Okay, first we'll go with this one. This is my Main Star Shawl by Zakia of the Ladywing Designs, and the Ladywing Crafts podcast. I mess that up every single time. And I think I'm messing it up like now because I mess it up every single time. So my brain wants me to like stumble over it. I'm being sabotaged. Anywho, this is the shawl so far. This was where it was last time you guys saw it, and I've done this. The yarn that I'm using is a hand spun yarn by Jade of So Perfect Purls. She is back to podcasting, which I'm super excited about. You guys should definitely go check her out. She's really awesome, and she makes, like, she's really into spinning and weaving right now, and her work is beautiful. Like, I want a spinning wheel so I can be like Jade when I grow up. But this is the yarn. It is, I was calling it Vintage Rose, but it's actually Vintage Blooms by Hobbledehoy. And yeah, I'm really excited to get this finished so that I can block it, like block the edges straight and everything, because it's like curls like nobody's business. So yeah, I really like this. I feel like it's going to be a nice, like, subtle, neutral kind of shawl. And I'm still working on the first ball, and I have another ball of the same, like the same amount. This is a project from my Make 9, and it is also a free pattern on Ravelry. So Zakia wrote this pattern as one to like highlight that one skein of yarn that you love so much, basically to make it the main star of the project, Main Star Shawl. She's so clever. So yeah. The last time you guys saw this, I had it on knitting needles that were like, I had it on straights that were like this long, but I felt so ungainly with that. So I went and got another set, and I want to say these are 10 inches. The other set I had were 14 inches, I believe. So, I still have a couple more inches on here that I'm going to work until I switch back over to circulars on this. I'm not going to put it back on the 14-inch ones because they were just too long. So yeah, now I have a 14-inch pair of straight needles that I don't need. Whatevs. So that's my Main Star Shawl. And I just like hit myself in the chest with the needle and then remembered I'm wearing something that you may not know what it is. This is a crochet top that I made over the summer when Lamar and I went to New Orleans. It is made from like reclaimed ribbon yarn from a cardigan that I got at the Goodwill or at a thrift store. I frogged it out and then I reused the yarn to make this top. It's a really simple top where the body is made up of treble crochets and the top, like this mesh bit, is made of cross double crochets. And you essentially knit the how did I do this? Knit. This is crocheted. How did I make this? I crocheted the front lace panel, and then I crocheted the back lace panel, and then I joined it under the arm, and then worked in rounds in the treble crochets. And I actually alternate. You've got, let's go this way. You've got a row of treble crochets and then a row of double crochets and then trebles and doubles for that like slight stripy effect. And it's really like loosey-goosey and nice, very Florida appropriate. You just have to like wear a tank top under it because modesty. Yeah, and then the hat that I'm wearing, this is my Orion beanie. People have been asking me for this pattern for so long, and I have it typed up somewhere. I just have to find it, and then I can release it. This is my plan for this is for it to be a free pattern because it's super simple. It's just a like mesh slouchy beanie. I love wearing these hats because it keeps all of my hair together. Yeah, that's about it. So Orion beanie, random acts of a mesh top. That's what I'm wearing today. Back to works in progress. The next work in progress I have is my Nalya wrap by SharaMade. And, I just threw it back in the bag with the hook still in it. I'm living wildly, y'all. So the last time you saw it, it was right here. I had just finished the green. Then I put in the separating row of the dark gray, and now I am working on color number 5. Yeah, color number 5. And this is Opal Rainforest Series in the Butterfly colorway. And then this is how it's crocheting up. So some blues, beiges, and grays in there. So yeah, we're just making our way along. This is going to be really, really long. Like, really long. I wonder how wide I'll be able to block it. We'll see. We'll find out. I don't know. Now let me pull this through so I don't frog everything. There we go. That's it on there. I think I am going to give this one another couple weeks before I show it to you guys again, since I'm not working on it really, really hard, and I don't want to just keep showing you like, oh, I did a couple rows, I did a couple more rows, you know. So I will put that one off the podcast for a couple weeks, so the next time you see it, I'll have a huge chunk of it done. The next work in progress is my summertime tee, and this is a pattern by TL Yarn Crafts, and I'm really liking how it's going. This is the front panel. Ta-da! And I made it an extra like 4 inches long, I think, which may have been an over-exaggeration. Just maybe. Because, yeah, you can't even see how long that is now. like it's, like this is my waist, right? And it goes all the way down here. This is going to be a tunic. But what I figure, in the original pattern, she has a split hem from like the front, but it's only split along the ribbing. So you seam the front and the back all the way down to the ribbing, and then there's the split right there. So I think I'm going to probably seam the front and the back together for the length of the original top, and then let the rest be a wider split. So it's kind of like a tunic looking type dealio. But so yeah, that's the finished front bit. And I went ahead and started the back piece. It's right there. I have used 2 whole balls of yarn, and I've caked up my third. And yeah, we're just moving right along. The pattern is really easy to memorize, and especially when you're doing the body, because there's no shaping or anything. You're just going back and forth in the stitch pattern. And this yarn is really, really soft. It's really pleasant to work with. It is a tad bit splitty. Just a heads up on that if you want to use this. Did I say what this was? I don't think I did. This is Lion Brand Jeans in the Stovepipe colorway. So I really like that yarn, but it is a little bit splitty, but then it's super soft, so it's like, yeah. So that's all I have to say about that. Oh, that one is also getting put into a cowl. Toni of TL Yarn Crafts is hosting the Make It cowl, I think is what it's called. And I'm going to be entering that into there. So I need, like, all of these things that I'm going to be entering into, like, make-alongs and cowls, I need to take pictures and, like, get them in. Like, this one, Julia of the Happy Knitting Podcast is doing a hand spun along. So that's my problem with, like, knit alongs. I always, like, plan and make notes of, like, the different alongs that my projects can go into, but I never remember to, like, post them or use the hashtags. Like, come on, girl, get it together. Get it together. Speaking of cows, I have started my Kia socks. This is a pattern by Dawn Henderson. She goes by, or she's Dawn Landix on Instagram. And she designed this pair of socks, and it is a beautiful pattern with a message of equality and inclusion in it. And the yarn that I'm using is this yarn, which, hello, why are you so messy? What are you doing with your life right now? Oh my. There we go. This yarn is Queen's Yarn Boutique in the Firestarter colorway, and this is just on her Kiss sock base, which is a 75/25 superwash merino nylon. And this is how my sock looks so far. Please forgive my nails. I decided to paint them. But yeah, that's the sock. You can kind of see the textured bits here. Those are all purl stitches that make like equal signs. At first, like when I got a couple rows into the pattern, I was like, this yarn is very, very busy for a pattern like this. But I just couldn't shake the symbolism of that I had created in my head behind this pattern and this yarn together. So I'm not really one for knitting a pattern sock more than once, but I think I will have to make an exception for this pattern and do another pair in a more solid or like a tonal yarn, so that you can really clearly see the equal signs. But this one, it's definitely happening. So yeah, and there's the yarn. And there is a cowl also going on for these socks. It's called the Kia Socks cowl, and it's a year-long knit along. So whenever you decide to start the Kia Socks pattern, you can join into that knit along. I don't remember if I mentioned, but it is a free pattern, so there's nothing to stop you. Are those all of my works in progress? Check the notes. No, there's another work in progress. Where did I put it? One moment, guys. Okay. So if you are one of our new viewers, you will have never seen this project. But for my returning homies, you will remember this. It is a pattern, like a choose your own adventure kind of pattern by Jennifer, who also goes by Yarn Tripping on Instagram. So essentially she designed this shawl to go with advent calendars, and there's 12 different sections, and what you do is you roll a dice to decide what order your minis go in. Like if you have all 12 of them together, you can decide your order by rolling the die, or you can just like put them in as you open them. And then you also roll a die to decide which order the stitch patterns go in. And you have 6 stitch patterns, and then so each stitch pattern is used twice, so every shawl will be different, which I find really, really cool. Now, I was one of her test knitters back in November. I did finish like all of the stitch patterns and the test knitting work in order for her to do her release and everything, and she had a successful release. I just haven't finished the actual shawl. So I'm going to show you my shawl, and I've just pulled 20-gram minis from my leftovers. And yeah, so here is one pattern. Then you have this texture pattern, that one. This is the same as the first one. Got that one. This is the same as that burgundy one. There. There. I was stuck on this one for so long. And this is the same pattern as that one. So I wanted kind of every stitch pattern to have, like, this is how it would look like in a solid yarn. This is how it would look like in a variegated yarn, you know, just to, you know, have a good mix. So this is what it looks like. The last stitch pattern here, when I originally chose my colors, this one was going to be this bright green, but I didn't, the more I looked at it, the more I realized that it was going to be very out of place with the, like, the darker, like lower value, low contrast colors that I've chosen here. But this stitch pattern is the same as this one. So you have all these different textures that you're using and that you're working through. Yeah, and you can see this yarn here is like, the gauge is much looser on that than all the rest of them, but I feel like it'll work out and it'll block out. It's fine. So I have 11 repeats of the row, like the stitch pattern to do in this section, and then I get to do like 2 more rows of garter and bind off. I'm so excited. And yeah, and then it'll be done. I'm so proud of myself. So I put this down, I don't know, it was in Vlogmas that I put this down because I was knitting all the Christmas socks. And so I put it down and I was like, oh, I'll get back to it later. And I've had it in this little basket underneath the desk where I do all my sewing and stuff. And it just keeps like looking at me, just hoping that I'm going to pick it up again. So I decided to pick it up this week. And I am proud of myself. We're almost done. Oh, still have my little Grinchy progress keeper on here. He makes me smile every time I see him. Good old Mr. Grinch. So yeah, I'm not going to go through those colors because I can't remember what they are. There you go. So now that is all of my works in progress. I do have a maker plan, and that is to use this mandala yarn, and I'm going to make a Just Feel Better shawl. So Just Feel Better is my first pattern that I put out. It's a free pattern available on Ravelry, and it is a triangle shawl that you make from like tip to the end. So you start with just like a couple stitches and then you increase all the way until the end, until you run out of yarn, whatever. And it is basically a granny stitch. And I find that the granny stitch is just really like relaxing for me. I can do that stitch and not like really pay attention to it. I can zone out in that stitch. And the last couple weeks, as important as the conversations have been and as necessary as they are, I still need, like, I need to love on myself a little bit. And so I'm going to do that by starting another Just Feel Better shawl. The pattern for the Just Feel Better shawl is written for fingering weight. This is a DK, but gauge doesn't matter. So just do whatever you want to do. So if you want to crochet a Just Feel Better shawl along with me, feel free. If you do, you can use the hashtag Just Feel Better Shawl. And show your progress. This is something to do as a quiet act of self-love for me, at least. So if you want to join me, have at it. The more the merrier. I love seeing people create things from my ideas. So, like I said, Just Feel Better is a free pattern. It's available on Ravelry. There's probably a link to it down below. But I'm really excited about this colorway of mandala. It is the Troll colorway. And I really think I'm going to pull all of this seafoam green out. Oh, no. I'm the crazy person who didn't realize that this falls right into the Pisces cow. What? Pisces season make along all day. I'm so silly. Who does that? Who decides that they want to like make something and then realizes that, oh, it fits into the make along that I'm going to be hosting? BT dubs. Pisces season make along is coming up February 19th through March 20th. Yeah, and this colorway goes right with it. I might actually, I don't know, how big of a shawl is this gonna make? I don't know, we'll figure it out. I'm just gonna start it because whips are allowed in the make along. So and I'm gonna leave the seafoam green in because evidently seafoam is like Pisces power color. There we go. I think what I am going to do though is, oh no, but that is so pretty. I was thinking about taking off this bright pink and just having that. Ooh. That would be really pretty. oh, and then it could go like down to that dark purple, and then maybe like I can find like a navy blue or a black. See, I feel like every single time I get on here and I start talking about a work in progress or some idea that I have, I end up like brainstorming it through with you guys. So yeah, this is going to be a Just Feel Better shawl. It's also going to go in the Pisces season make along. Yeah. That's the only thing that I have for maker plans. So we can go on to stash acquisitions. I just have two. Okay, I'm going to show you something that has nothing to do with crafting, but it was too cute not to do. Do these doggy faces look familiar to anybody? It's Kiva and Tootie. Isn't that like the cutest thing you've ever seen? I know it is. You don't have to tell me. I know it is. I got these socks at Joann's, and when I first saw them, I was like, oh, obviously I have to get these. Obviously. And I'm going to wear one of each together because they look just like my dogs. And they're St. Patrick's Day, which I've already told you guys my reasoning for loving St. Patrick's Day. But I just thought that was too cute, right? Back to the crafty things. I seem to have developed a love for a certain color. Yep. Yep. This is Charisma Heather. This is the yarn that I used for my Belleplaine beanie, which is a pattern by Jeanette Sloan. And I wanted to make another one, and I saw this at, where was I, Michael's? Yeah, this is Loops and Threads. I was at Michael's, and this was actually in one of those bags where it's like 3 of them for like $4. So I was like, okay, I can do that. So I'm gonna make a yellow Belleplaine beanie, and I'm really excited about that. It's gonna be really, really pretty. So I have that, and then I also picked up this fabric from Joann's. Now, Joann's has a new line of fabric that is globally inspired. And essentially they look like, you know, African print Ankara fabrics. When I saw it in their advertisement, I was like, oh wow, that's really cool. You know, that's a cool thing to have in your vast amount of fabrics, to have some African inspired prints. The only problem that I had with it was in the advertisement, they had 3 people who like modeling things that were made out of the fabrics, and none of them were people of color. And I feel like that was a real strong swing and a miss. Like, they swung the bat at that one, spun around, and threw the bat back over the fence. Like, come on, Joann's. But anyway, I got this one fabric simply because I really liked the color. When I looked at the other patterns and things, I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. This is nice. Okay. But to be honest, the prices were way higher for globally inspired prints than I would spend for actual African print fabric from sellers who source their fabric from the continent. So I was like, okay, Joann's, I see. That's nice. Carry on. I'm gonna go over here and hit up House of Mama Wata on Etsy, B2Dubs. If you're looking for African print fabric, I'll put a link down below. She's got lots of options, and she's really nice. That's everything that I have for my stash positions. I also bought a pair of like really flowy pants that are this color. I really think that this color wants to be my color of the year, but I've never had a color of the year, so I don't know if this is going to be the year for that. It probably is. This is probably my color of the year. Is this my color of the year? I think so. Who knows? I don't have anything to talk about for Black Fibers, Black Threads. Take my chat at the beginning of the video as Black Fibers, Black Threads for today. I didn't write anything down for life and whatnot. I haven't really done anything interesting in the past week. No. I worked in the studio Sunday and yesterday. Did pictures of a newborn. You know, the usual. But we do have a Quirky Monday Crafts update coming up. Hopefully, these bags will be up as you are watching this video. Hopefully. That is my goal, to have them up by the end of this week, because these are all of my Valentine's Day bags. And I want them up in a timely manner so that you can get them for Valentine's Day, right? Or get them to use in February. Whatever floats your boat. So, I have 4 fabrics that I limited myself to for these bags. And I have to limit myself because I have the habit, like, I will make a crap ton of bags and then be like, all right, now I've got all these bags. And I'm just like kind of like biting my nails. Like, are they going to sell? Am I going to be stuck with all this stock? Like, so I've limited myself to 4 fabrics. And this is the first one. I love it. It's milk and cookies. And look how happy all the little milks and cookies are. They're so happy to be together. So I've got the milk and cookies, and I'll show you the two. Like, I went a little foodie. Is this right side up? Yes. So I love you s'more. Fun fact about Kalisha, I don't like s'mores. It's too much going on. I can't handle it. Can't do it. I do love toasted marshmallows. And I guess saying toasted is kind of like a misnomer for the way that I like my marshmallows. I like them burnt. I was just watching Lacey of Hooked on Owls, her 10 non-yarny things about me. And like the first thing that she mentioned was that she likes roasted or toasted marshmallows, but they have to be like burnt all the way around, like black on the outside, so that they're like really, really gooey on the inside, but the center is still a little bit solid. And I was like, oh my gosh, you know my life. Like, that's how I like them. Like, I like biting into a toasted marshmallow and tasting like you just licked a log. But I do love them. I do love them. But not s'mores. Too much happening. But I do like these s'mores. Look at how happy they are. They're so adorable. And then, you know, we have to do the hearts. So I got this scribbly heart that I thought was really cool. And like, it's Valentine's, but it's not like Valentine's. So I really like that. And then the classic red rose situation. So I have been sewing the bags together. I'm going to have small, medium, and large bags in the shop. After I do the Valentine's bags, I'm going to do some African print, like Ankara fabric bags for the shop. And then after I finish those, because I want to have those for Black History Month. It's very important for me to create something specifically for Black History Month. Even though I feel like I'm going to be crunching in a lot of product into one month with the Valentine's and the Black History Month. But I can't, like, I'm not going to scratch Black History Month. Yeah. So I'm excited to pull out my African print fabrics. I have a lot of really cool fabrics. I think I might even have some more of this one. So I'm going to have those going up in the shop probably towards mid-February. These are going to go up the end of January, very beginning of February. The Black History Month bags will be like mid-February. And then after all of those are done, then I'm going to go back and do the Black Panther, the Harry Potter ones, because I have those all cut. I just need to finish sewing those and then get those uploaded. Because like the way my mind works is like batches. Like I have to keep like the collections together, if that makes sense. Yeah. I had a conversation with someone who asked me if I have Disney fabric, and I will be doing Disney bags probably later on over the summer, because I feel like I would be remiss to live in Orlando and not do something for Disney. I can't do that. I can't even do that. So yeah, that is what you have to look forward to in Quirky Monday, like at the Quirky Monday Crafts Etsy shop. There's always a link down below. If you are concerned with like how will I know when they're up, follow me on Instagram. I'm at Nadir Toni, and I always put pictures of the bags before I upload them to the shop, so you can see what the bags look like, and I will let you guys know when they're live so that you can go and like get whichever the bag is that you want. And then I am open to doing, like, say you wanted the cookies and milk fabric but it's sold out. You can send me a message, and if I have that fabric in stash or still have access to it, I am willing to do a custom order for you. Just send me a message. And yeah. So that is everything for the Quirky Monday Craftcast this week. We do have one last thing to cover, and that is the winners for the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Now, I know I said I was only going to leave it open for 1 week, and then I was going to like pull the winners and blah, 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 but I left it open longer. So you're welcome. You're welcome for my laziness. No, so we have 2 winners. I use the YouTube comment like generator thing. That thing is really fun, and it was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I don't know why I thought it was going to be hard, but yeah. So anyway, the 2 winners were, the first was J'adore le crochet, and the second was Crochet Stat. I found it really funny that both of the winners were crocheters, and that made me feel like, you know, Kalisha, you really do need to get back on your crochet grind. Like, I've been doing a lot of knitting recently, and even now the projects that I have going, I only have 1 crochet going. So oh no, I don't. I have 2 crochet. So I'm going to be getting back into doing more crochet. I'm going to do better with being more consistent with writing up these patterns and getting them out to you guys, so that like you guys can enjoy like these different things that I come up with, you know? And yeah. So J'adore le crochet and Crochet Stat, you guys are my 2 1,000 subscriber giveaway winners. Congratulations! That didn't sound like a celebratory sound. That kind of sounded like a cat getting swung around by its tail. Anywho, you guys are the winners. Send me a message either on, I almost said Facebook. Not Facebook. Don't send me no message on Facebook. I definitely won't see it. Send me a message on Instagram at Nadir Toni or on Ravelry at Nadir Toni. Let me know that you are the 1,000 subscriber giveaway winner. I will need your address to send you out one of the prize packets. So both of the packets like have the same things in them. So yeah. Yes, I'll need your name and your mailing address so that I can get those out to you. So thank you everybody for entering that giveaway. Thank you for all of the suggestions of things that you would like to see. I got a lot of, we would like to, like, a lot of people were saying that they would like to see tutorials. Probably not gonna do tutorials, especially if it's like a general thing like how to knit a sock, because there are people who are on YouTube like Very Pink Knits who do amazing tutorials with multiple camera angles and everything. Like, she's who I followed when I learned how to knit socks. So I would definitely recommend, like, if you want a tutorial for how to knit a sock or essentially anything knitting related, Very Pink Knits is a very good place to start. If you need tutorials for crochet based things, I believe Bob Wilson 123 has a lot of really awesome crochet tutorials, and she's been doing it for years. So those are the people that I would recommend going and viewing tutorials from, because that's something that they do. I do want to do tutorials for like anything specific to like my pattern designs. Like, for instance, in the Puppy Love Shawl, there is crochet brioche that I write up in the pattern. I do write it out very clearly in the pattern, so if you follow exactly what it says, you'll be able to do the brioche technique. But I do want to do a video tutorial for that. And then for the Gemini shawl, there's a flat braid that I do to join the sides together. I do want to do a tutorial on that. So those are probably the kind of tutorials that you'll see from me, are tutorials based on my patterns and anything specific in there that I feel like you might want to be able to see. A lot of people were saying, we want you to do crochet socks. I am low-key terrified of crochet socks, but I'm going to try it. At some point this year, I'm going to try it. You guys have my word. J'adore Le Crochet said that she would love to see me continue with Black Fibers, Black Threads, which I have absolute intention of continuing. And yeah. So I'm going to keep all of the comments. I think I'm going to go through the comments and like make a list of things that you guys want to see, and like kind of try to incorporate those into my different videos. So thank you so much for participating in that. Thank you so much for leaving comments with your positive experiences. I'm seeing that more people are actually going into the comment section and leaving comments of positive things that have happened to them. And when I read them, it really does brighten up my day. And if you are a comment reader, like I tend to be a comment reader on other people's videos. So like if you're a comment reader, you can go and see like all of these positive things that people are mentioning that were happening to them. Oh, one person in the giveaway thread was saying that they would like to see me highlight other people's positive things. So going forward, if you don't mind me sharing your positive like experience that has happened to you in the past week, just like make a note of it in your comment, like okay to share or something like that. If it doesn't say that it's okay to share, then I'm not going to like put your business out there, because I understand that not everybody reads the comments. So, but if you would like me to like highlight your positive, like your positive thing or the good thing that happened to you, let me know when you write that comment, and I will be happy to have like a bright spots moment. Bright spots brought to you by the subscribers of Quirky Monday Crafts. But yeah, so that is everything. I think. I don't think I forgot anything. I actually have to go change clothes and get ready to go pick up my dogs from the groomer, because they were filthy little mongrels and I had to take them to the people. And I'm probably going to get them home, and they're going to go, at least Tootie is going to go right in the backyard and roll down the hill. Because she's a gremlin, but I love her. And poor little Kiva, hates going to the groomer. Like, you would think that the groomer was the absolute worst place she could be. Like, she would rather go to the vet than go to the groomer. Hands down. Paws down? Yeah. She always makes me feel like the worst puppy mommy ever when I take her to the groomer, because she starts shaking, and like, she's had seizures before. So when she starts shaking, I'm like, oh my gosh, my dog's gonna have a seizure. I can't handle this. And then she looks at me with her little beagle eyes, and you guys have seen her big old beagle eyes. And when she puts the sad puppy dog face on, oh, it just gets me in the heart pieces. And I have to be like, look away, look away. Take her away, groomer lady, take her away. My dogs, guys, my dogs. So yeah, leave a comment down below of something positive that happened to you, and then leave a little blip if you would like me to share it on the next episode. Thank you so much for being a part of my universe. Thank you so much for being stars in my sky. And remember that no matter how dark the world gets, just one little tiny piece of light, one little spark of light is enough to break that darkness. I love you guys. Thank you for being here today. Bye.